Good day, good day. Welcome. Welcome to Sharing the Wisdom. My name is Denise Washington and I am the host. The whole idea of this podcast came from a video that I saw that Stephanie Perry, and I have her information at the end of this video. She had a 2 hour session on YouTube where she just asked women over the age of 60 to just give words of wisdom to younger women. And I thought that was brilliant. But what I thought would be even better is if the host was also over 60. So this is the second episode, and I can tell you, I have been surprised and really happy with the reception that that first video received. Older women love to hear and listen to their peers. Younger women were like, we want more of this info. We want to be mentored. We want to be loved. So today, I have two people that I have never met in person. I have only known them through internet services. I met them last year. The first is Coach Donna. Coach Donna has a YouTube channel. If you want to get your retirement life together, Coach Donna is the person to see. And I will let her talk more about that later. But she is giving a retreat in January 2024. The information will be linked at the end of this video. And Angie B, who I was a guest on her podcast also, she has a YouTube channel, Life After Widowhood. I'm sorry. What is it again? I screwed it up.
Life after becoming a widow.
After becoming a widow. And no, it is not all doom and gloom
That's right.
because women after becoming a widow, usually they find that deeper sense of self. So welcome to you both today. So
Thank you for
glad to
having
have you.
us.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Well, you know how I'm going to start this. If you could talk to yourself, your 18-year-old self, and I'm picking 18 because for me, 18 was a biggie.
Yes.
Things were crashing and burning all over the place. Um, what would you tell that 18-year-old now with the wisdom and the time that you've had? Coach Donna, would you like to start?
Sure, absolutely. Thanks again for having me here on the channel. And, thinking back 18 years ago, that's a long time. I'm trying to think exactly what was I doing? I was in college. I was doing what they said we should do, that you should go to school, get a good education, go to college, get a deeper education, get a good job, marry, have children. And, I thought that's what we were supposed to do. And I did those things, not necessarily in those order, but those were the things that I did because that's all I knew that we were supposed to do. But looking
Yes.
back now, I would have definitely traveled more. I used to always sit and watch certain movies and people, especially people in Mexico, and I would say, man, I wondered what would it be like to actually live there, to be,
Mhm.
be there in real life. And I didn't come to Mexico until I believe the first time I ever came, I was in my 40s. So if I were to tell young people to do anything, I would say, first of all, know your ABCs of desire. And for me, the A stands for appetite. Les Brown says you got to be hungry. So what do you have an appetite for? I had an appetite to travel, but I put it on pause for a long time before actually pushing the play button. B would be belief. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can do whatever it is you put your heart to the desire to do. I believe that we all are created in the image of God, and what we desire, we can have manifest in our life. And then the C stands for courage. And courage is going to always come before confidence. So there's going to be those times like our boy Steve Harvey says, you just got to jump. You have to have that, take that faith that you have. I don't care how small, it could be the size of a mustard seed, but take that little bit of faith, jump, and go out there and go for your dreams. Go for the desires that you have.
Very
Coach
good.
Donna, I know that you saw me looking down every so often. I take notes because I too am learning because I love that ABC. I do. And anyone who listened to the last podcast, my advice was take the damn trip. That's all I said was take the damn trip.
Yeah, yeah.
Take the trip. Now, I have a feeling that Angie B has a lot to say about that because you've been traveling a lot.
A lot. I sure do. Well, first, I want to say I'm actually a baby boomer, they call us. And I was taught to take care of others. And basically, if others were good, if they were okay, then I was good. If they were happy, then I was happy. And I lived my life like that. And I was happy doing that until my husband passed away.
Mm.
When my husband passed away suddenly, it was like a wake up call for me because I realized I had been, nice and kind and given people grace and patience, but I hadn't given that to myself. So it was a wake up call for me to find myself. What do I love to do? What do I like to do? What did I always say I was going to do? And one of those things is travel. So, one of the things that I would tell my 18-year-old self is be kind to me like I was kind to everyone else. I would say, give myself grace. Don't be so hard and critical on myself. Be nice to myself, treat myself, do some things that I love to do. I'm not saying don't take care of the people in your life that you take care of. I'm just saying don't push yourself on the back burner so that you run out of time. Because what I found most of the time is I didn't have time to take care of me after I took care of everyone else. So I got pushed to the back burner, but I was still moving and shaking, and I was happy doing that because I felt that I was doing what I was supposed to do. But now I realize I kind of ignored myself. And that's not being kind to myself. That's not being patient with myself. That's not loving myself. So I would tell myself to love me and do some things to spoil me. So, one of the things that I've discovered and that I do a lot is I travel all the time. I'm always traveling, traveling. I just got back from Spain a couple weeks ago and I thoroughly enjoyed myself of just seeing how other cultures live, experiencing their food, talking to them. And people are really, really nice and kind. So that's something I would tell my 18-year-old self. Be kind to me.
Now, question only because that resonates because the women that contacted me after they saw the first video
Hmm.
said that they were now in their 30s, early 40s,
Hmm.
and they had put themselves on the back burner.
Yeah.
And many other things happened, such as consequences for health. But I have two questions for you both. The
Okay.
first is, do you travel solo and how do you like it? Because a lot of younger women don't want to travel. There's many that do, and my hat's off to them because I was a solo traveler when I was younger. But many of them are afraid. So could you address that?
Okay. I'll
Coach
start
Donna, go
first.
ahead.
Oh, go ahead,
Okay.
Coach Donna. Go ahead, Coach Donna.
And the only reason why I'm starting with Coach Donna is because there is this narrative around Mexico. See, I'm not moving there yet, so I don't say Mexico. I say Mexico. But that's where you're living. But the narrative that I'm hearing is, oh, it's not safe.
Hmm. Well, I just arrived back home here in Mexico last night. Um, and the answer is yes, I do travel solo. And it's two reasons. I'm an ambivert. So there are sometimes that I'm just as equally okay around a crowd as I am by myself.
Mhm.
But what I have found that by myself, I end up getting rejuvenated quicker than when I'm with the crowd. Because
Yes.
sometimes with a crowd, because I tend to be a people pleaser. Now, I don't mean that in a negative term. I'm a registered nurse. I'm the oldest
Uh-huh.
of 9 kids. So
Uh-huh.
I have just always been in that caretaker role.
Yes.
And I have
Yes.
found that when I'm in a crowd, if there's somebody that has an issue, I'm always thinking about how to solve that problem for them.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so that can drain you
Yes.
as a traveler. So
Yes.
I prefer to travel alone. I traveled here by myself. I met up actually with my business partner who is co-leading the Jumpstart Your Soul Journey in January, because we both live here in Chapala, Jalisco, Mexico, in a refurbished boutique hotel. So on the first floor,
Hmm.
there's me and Sonia, and we share a kitchen. On the second
Okay.
floor, we have two other ladies, and we're all over 60. That
Okay.
one is from Argentina and one is from Australia, and they share a kitchen. And
Okay.
then on the third floor, where I currently am, I'm in our kitchen area. We have a master kitchen. We have a huge area, like a community area. And then on the fourth, the top building is a
Oh,
mirador,
nice.
or what some people may say a rooftop terrace.
Oh, nice.
I have the police that are kitty corner from my home. This Chapala is very safe. One of the things that I love is that I don't know the cartel. I'm not into that. So they have no
Mhm.
dealings with me. I
That's right.
find that people who get in trouble is because they're with trouble. And I'm
That's
not
right.
calling cartel people trouble. I'm just saying that there's certain activities that they do that I'm not a part of that.
Yes.
No
Yes.
more than I was with the mafia in the US.
There you
I
go.
mean, we still don't know where
Right.
Jimmy Hoffa is.
Thank you. We still exactly.
So,
He
you
might have
know,
been in a burger, or he might be at the bottom of the ocean. But
we have
yes,
no idea. We have no idea. So
Right.
anywhere you go, there's going to be good and bad. You
Right.
have to learn to associate yourself and connect with the good
Yes.
wherever you are in the world.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's my philosophy.
Yes.
I'm happy to be home.
you happy to be home, and it's true because if you're going out there doing good, that's what's going to come back to you. The drug cartel, no matter where I go, they are not looking for me.
No.
They're not. They're
No.
not thinking about me. I'm just
Mhm.
free to travel.
Right.
Angie B, how does that
Yes.
hit you? How does that question of safety when you're the solo traveler?
I never ever, I'm aware. I'm not going to say I'm not aware. I'm cognizant of what I'm doing and where I am, but I never feel unsafe when I travel solo. I actually, like Coach Donna, I enjoy doing it solo because when you're in a group, a lot of times you gotta kind of do what the group wants to do, and maybe that's not what you want to do in that particular area. Maybe you have someplace you want to see, but nobody else wants to see that. So it's sometimes it can be challenging. And then if it's a group, you have all these different personalities, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody's got like drama going on, or they don't want to do this, or this one don't want to do that. And so when you go by yourself, you know what you want to do and what you like to do. I'm not a person that, even when I'm home, I don't mind going to the movies by myself. I don't mind
Mm-hmm.
going out
Me
to
too.
eat, sitting down in a restaurant to eat my
Mm-hmm.
dinner, because I got to eat. So I don't have a problem being by myself, whether I'm in the US or whether I'm, outside the country. And in actuality, I love it more when I'm by myself. Now, this last trip I went on with a group, but it was couples, and there was some single, people in the group as well. But when I could go off by myself and do something that I wanted to do, that's where I was most happy. The most happiest, when I was doing that. But I can remember I went to Puerto Vallarta the beginning part of this year, and I was totally by myself. I didn't go, with anybody. I didn't meet anybody there. And I was very comfortable
Mm-hmm.
being there, doing, finding things to do and doing things. And to me, it was adventurous. And it was so much fun. And I have had people say to me, "Oh, how can you do that? I would be afraid." Or, "I wouldn't go to a restaurant to sit down and eat." And I'm like, "Why not? I mean, you got to eat." So I guess maybe the adventurous part of me, I just don't find that as a problem. And as far as safety is concerned, I've had people who live in Chicago or places like that, or, places that are known to not be as safe.
Mhm.
And you live there. So if you live there, then why can't you, live somewhere else or go somewhere else, is how I kind of feel about it. So I just, I'm aware of my surroundings. And I just go and I do, like a city tour. I
Mhm.
sometimes do the hop on, hop off bus to kind of get my bearings, to see where things are located and where they are, to see if I want to go back to a particular place or stay at a particular place. Or I enjoy traveling solo. I love it. I'm always traveling.
And I'm seeing more younger women doing it now. I do
Yeah,
get a lot of feedback from young women. Some are
yeah,
saying, well, it's money. That's the issue. However, younger women are now having their side hustle, particularly since the pandemic, which
yes,
is giving them more disposable income to
yes,
travel.
yes.
My daughter goes anywhere by herself.
That's good.
When she was an exchange student, she studied abroad for one semester. I think it
Oh,
was her
nice,
junior year. Yeah,
nice.
in France. This was her dream. See, she's nothing like me at all. This was her dream since she was in kindergarten. And she said
Oh,
she was
okay,
going to study abroad her junior year. And junior year came and she's like, all right, I'm ready to go. Her father nearly died, but that's another story. However, when she was in France, if she couldn't find people that wanted to go, like take a day tour somewhere else,
yeah,
she'd just go and say, okay, this is where I'm going to be. I'm going to be in Nice. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be there.
yes,
And would
yes,
go do her sightseeing, take her pictures. Because again, what's the
yes,
choice? Either you go by yourself or you don't go. And how many times have we, I know I can look back, how many
yes,
opportunities or
yes,
new things to see did I give
yes,
up
yes,
because I
yes,
felt, well, you know what? I'm only a woman. I should go by myself. I shouldn't go by
yes,
myself. And now
yes,
I'll hop on that plane. I'm looking for some place to go now because I don't have a trip plan and I'm
yes,
itching and I feel that I should
yes,
because for the past 2 years I always had some place look that I'm looking forward to going.
yes. No. Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah,
think a lot of I'm watching younger women, a lot of them are just saying, okay, I'm just going to do it. And once they do it, they love it. Now,
right,
again,
Hmm.
I'm not saying leave your family
right,
because we know that's
right.
that's a little inside joke with this group. Leave your family, just leave them there. No, that's not what we're saying. But you should make that time
For yourself.
for you, for yourself.
Yes,
Now,
Exactly.
yes,
what
yes,
consequences can you see in your life that you had because you didn't leave time for yourself? It could be health consequences, it could have been career, it could be missing out on something. What consequences came of not doing that thing that you wanted to do alone or just doing that thing that was burning in your heart?
Well, for me, one of the things was to learn Spanish. For years, I wanted to learn Spanish, but I kept pushing that pause button, putting
Hmm.
it on pause, putting it on pause. And then once I decided that I was walking away from my 34-year career as a registered nurse working for the government so that I could begin to go and do what it was that I wanted to do, I felt that I was unprepared. And so, but it didn't keep me from going because, like I said, I'm here now, and I only speak a little bit of Spanish, just a little bit. I found myself on the plane this time helping a young man who was Spanish that didn't speak English fill out his paper as he was entering into the country because it was in
okay.
English. And so, just knowing
Ah,
a little bit of Spanish, I was able to help him fill out
okay,
his paperwork.
okay,
So if I have one regret, it is that I didn't learn Spanish, in high school and take it in college and start traveling
Hmm.
earlier so that I would have a better handle on the language. I don't think I will ever be what they call fluent because that takes a lifetime, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will know enough to be able to communicate. I can ask where the baño is. I can ask to, tell somebody that I'm hungry, and I can do different things like that.
Yeah.
But that would be my one regret. I just recently canceled a trip to Cozumel. It was actually I was going to be on a conference with a group of women. We call ourselves millionaire makers. It's a group of individuals,
Okay.
and
Hmm.
so it's called Made to Lead Millions. And my sister was supposed to go with me on that cruise, and because her husband told her that he wanted to be the first one to ever go on a cruise with her, she backed out. And I had planned everything on that cruise with her being part of it. So I ended
Yeah.
up having to cancel it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so another reason why I prefer to travel solo, because people will back out, things
Yes.
Yeah.
come up, and I understand that, and I understand being, yoked to your husband and want to be submissive to whatever it is that he wants, but that's not me. And so again, that's why I prefer solo. There's the big five F's: family, friends, fear, fallacies, and finances that can interrupt your travel if you let it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Anybody that heard those 5 F's, they will be on the last slide of this recording because that's brilliant, right? And again, I'm over 60 and I'm learning things too. I'm like, oh yeah, I like that. I really do. Angie B, any consequences that you see that came from not doing whatever it was? You know that thing that was just burning in your heart to do.
I want to say that just not going for a while, because I want to say that I missed out on a lot of trips because somebody backed out. What Coach Donna said, somebody backed out on me, or somebody said they were going and then they decided they didn't have enough money or whatever their problem or issue was. And here I was planning on going on that trip. So I basically decided last year, okay, I'm over 60 as well. And so I realized I got more years behind me than I have in front of me. So
Mhm.
I decided last year, if I want to go somewhere, I'm just going to go. I'm just going to go solo. And it was something new to me to some extent. I went to Guatemala in 2015, and my family and friends said, "Who are you going with? Who are you going with?" And I was like, "I'm going with myself."
Mhm.
And they didn't understand that. So that was my first time actually going on a trip by myself, was in 2015. So it wasn't totally foreign to me, but I think as people, as human beings, we're used to going with other people. We're used to
Right.
doing things with other people. We're used to planning things with other people. But I decided last year, I'm not waiting anymore. If I want to go
Mhm.
somewhere, or if I see, a trip coming up that I want to go on, I'm going to book it and I'm going to go.
Mhm.
And I'm just not going to wait anymore. So this year, well, the end of last year and this year, half of the trips I've gone on, I've gone solo.
Mhm.
And so I would just say, just regretting, not participating sometime or missing out on a particular trip that I wanted to go on because I didn't have anybody to go with.
To go
um
with.
when I moved after 5 years after my husband passed away, I moved to a totally different city. And I realized when I moved to this totally different city, 400 miles away from my hometown, that I couldn't just sit at home and wait on somebody to knock on the door and say, "Hey, I heard you're in town. you know, do you want to go do XYZ?"
Mhm.
So I had to get up and put my big girl pants on and, get out and meet people and do things. And like I said, I think that I missed out on several trips before I decided
Mhm.
I can do this solo. So just the
Yeah.
regret of the trips that I possibly missed,
Mhm.
from waiting on other people. So now if I find a trip or something I want to do, even if it's like going to a show or going to,
Hmm.
you know, I went to maybe about, I don't know, it was the end of last year. The Harlem Globetrotters came to town.
Oh,
And
Oh,
I
I
was
love them.
so excited because the younger me, I used to watch them and I thought they were so funny and I really enjoyed them. And I'm in a new city. So I just said, you know what? I'm going by myself. And I went and bought a ticket. I made sure I was close down by the floor so I felt that I was a part of all their craziness that was going on. And I had the best time. I really enjoyed myself. So I do things solo with no problem. I enjoy it.
hmm
Same here because I know that you just mentioned going to shows, and I have started because I've always loved plays when
Yes.
I was younger.
Yes.
And I'll be honest, when we were raising our children, what did my husband and I do? Any plays that we went to see was geared towards children.
Correct.
Radio City Music Hall every year. My
Yes.
mother would give us tickets, so that would be something that they could see for the Christmas show. We'd take vacations. People were dressed up, Disney, and here they come. All right. There wasn't anything adult. And
Yes.
now, what I have been doing is I go to concerts in the city or
hmm
here in NJPAC by myself. And what's amazing is that
Yeah.
I always have a good time. I don't care what,
Yes.
but I
Yes.
meet so many other women that are
Yes.
out there solo. And you just
Yes.
start to talk to people on the
Yes.
line. And you meet
Yes.
all these women that
Yes.
are solo.
That's right. That's right.
So we are not
Absolutely.
home. Right. We are not home waiting for the Grim Reaper to come knocking on the door. I keep
No,
telling people the
no.
Grim Reaper is going to have to find me. Now, I could be in Iceland. I could be visiting in Mexico. I don't
That's
know.
right.
But the
That's
Grim
right.
Reaper, when he does catch up with me, is going to say, God damn it, I've been looking for you and you just couldn't stay still. Well, yes, I'm trying to avoid you because
Right.
I can say I do have my regret. And now that I think about it, it's not that it's silly, but I always compared myself to where other people were in their lives. So those shoulds,
Oh,
like I should be here and I should have a degree by then, or I should be married by then and have children by then. That did not motivate me at all because that was not my timetable.
yeah.
My
Yeah.
timetable to get my degree was in the middle of the pandemic. It was March 2020
Ah,
because I
okay.
had gone back to school, got my what is that? My associates,
Okay.
then took another 4 years to complete my studies at Rutgers. And as a
Okay.
result, so many other things happened that wouldn't have happened. First of all, I found out I love public speaking. Who the hell knew that? I didn't. I didn't. I didn't know that. I got up one day to speak, and I was like, "Oh, this is nice." But that wouldn't have happened had I gotten
Right.
that degree when I
Right.
so-called should have in
Right.
77. I
Yeah.
definitely wouldn't have met either one of you because I wouldn't have been on that timetable. I'd have been on
Right.
Yeah.
another timetable. Who
Right.
knows?
Yeah.
I'd have been sitting here waiting, sitting on my porch, waiting for the Grim Reaper. Maybe my hair wouldn't be purple. Who knows? But there is more going on. I so want younger women to know
Yes,
that the timetable is yours
that's correct.
Yes. Yes.
regardless of the
Absolutely.
so-called shoulds.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. And
Absolutely.
there's
Like the YouTube channels, for example, um, I never would have thought I would have had a YouTube channel. I always wanted to write a book. So I was still in, old time. I wanted to write a book on my grief journey to share with other Black women to help them through the grieving process. And so that was always in my head, I want to write this book. So I thought when I moved 400 miles away, that'll give me the time to sit with myself and write a book. When I got the information for the YouTube challenge that we were on, I was getting the information to give it to someone else. I wasn't getting it for me.
Oh.
And then I woke up one morning, and I'm going to say, God, I'm going to say, the Spirit said to me, this is a way that you can share your story with other Black women that can reach them, because, everybody's on YouTube. You can reach them, and they will, hopefully it will help them. And that was my whole purpose. I was
Mhm.
hoping by sharing my story that I would help another Black female going through the grieving process to not make it as difficult as the challenges that I had. So it went well.
I don't
So
even
that wasn't your
remember if
primary purpose.
yeah.
Go
Huh?
ahead, Coach Donna.
No, I'm gonna say what like she said about the YouTube. I don't even know if I knew about YouTube prior to meeting Stephanie. I just was surfing, and then that's where I learned more depth about YouTube. I think my
Mhm.
Yeah.
niece who was living with me at the time was the one who introduced me to it. And so at one
Oh,
time I had a YouTube channel that I had created, but I didn't do anything with it. I just said, well, I made a YouTube channel. But it was after meeting Stephanie Perry that I said, no, this is a vehicle to minister, to teach, to reach out, to
yeah.
inspire, whatever the case may be, for
Yes.
individuals like me, who look like me, and who used to think like me, that
Yes.
we couldn't do these things, that
Yes.
that we just had not been given that ticket, that pass
No.
to do
No.
that.
Mhm.
But
Yes.
now I'm a great grandmother. I have three great granddaughters and a great grandson on the way. I have three granddaughters. I have a daughter and then I have a son. And one of the things I'm teaching them is do not let somebody else write your script. You write
Yes.
your script. Change
Right.
the narrative of what
Yes.
other individuals have put you in a box as, and
Yes.
do what makes you happy. Find your
Absolutely.
happy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Again, I took that down because that's it in a nutshell. You have to do what makes you happy. And
Yes.
those are what those years of like 18 to 30, somewhere in there, that's what that's all about. Because you hear parents ask children, what do you want to be? Who the heck knew what they wanted to be
Right.
reasonably 18
Right.
years old? And you expect
Right.
somebody to go to college
Yes.
instead of going there to gain knowledge and to pick different things and to feel out, well, what do you want to do? Because that always felt wrong to me. Because I could never find one thing that I wanted to
Me
do, but I found a
too.
whole
Me
bunch of crap
too.
that I didn't want to do. Yes,
Exactly.
Me too.
yes,
Exactly. You
exactly.
know,
Yes.
and
And
I can't remember what group of men it were, but they were millionaires, and they decided to take certain things out of the school system because they didn't want thinkers, they wanted workers. And so that's what we
right,
were conditioned to do: go to school so
Yes.
that we can become a worker for somebody else to help
Yes.
them build their empire. No,
That's right.
we
That's
have a
right.
we have an empire to build. We have a legacy to live.
there you
Yes.
go.
So let's build
Yes.
we all have an entrepreneurial bit, whether we
Yes.
Yes,
know it or not, at
Yes.
different levels. But
Right.
let's build our own entrepreneurial empire and leave a legacy for generations to come. I was
Yes.
not born to be poor.
That's right.
there you go.
That's
It's just
right.
not in my DNA.
That's right.
So I tell
Absolutely.
you, just because you were born in a certain state or in a certain country, you don't have to stay there, baby.
That's right.
Do what makes you happy.
There
And
you
if that
go.
means crossing an ocean, cross that ocean.
Right. Absolutely.
And the
Absolutely.
and the only way for you to find out is to do what? Take the damn trip. Here we go. There you go. Take the,
Yes.
that's gonna be my slogan for the rest of the year. Anybody ask me a question? Just take the damn trip.
Yes, yes.
That's it. Because you fit trying to fit into these boxes, and I was always say a hexagon, trying to fit into a box.
Yes. Yes.
The minute
Yes.
I stopped, the
Yes.
smile stayed on my face. I
Yes.
Yeah.
become more adventurous,
Yes.
looking to do more
Yes.
and more energetic.
Yes.
than
Yes.
I was when I was trying to fit into this box. Because
Right.
Hmm.
when I became a widow, I knew what people thought a widow should be. And I was like, that's not me. And as a result,
Absolutely.
there were a
Wow.
lot
Absolutely.
of people I did not tell that my husband had passed. They didn't find out till years later. And the
Wow.
group
Oh,
was
wow.
my people who I worked out at the gym, because the gym is my place to be, shine, love. I am my happiest there. And
Yeah.
I didn't want them to look at me that Monday, because he passed on a Sunday, passed on a Father's Day, no less, which fits in very
Wow.
well with his
Yeah.
personality. It does.
Oh,
But
okay.
I did not tell these. I told nobody. I scheduled my classes because I had taken time off from work Monday. They said, "Oh, you're off from work?" I said, "Yeah." They did not find out until that group, honestly, it might have been 2 to 3 years, and was totally by accident.
Oh,
Wow.
Because I had
wow.
mentioned it to one person who mentioned it to the instructor, and she said, "Your husband passed and you didn't tell us?" And I said, "No." I said, "Because you see that look that you're giving me right now?
I didn't
I
want
didn't
that.
want to see that. I didn't want to
Yes.
see that. I still
Yes.
wanted to be Denise that you thought could jump and run and do
There you
this
go.
and do that."
There
Because
you
I
go.
knew what other people had defined widow to look like. And I knew I
Yes.
wasn't that. I
Yes.
didn't know what I was going to be, but I
Yes.
knew that that so called widow across your forehead was
Yes.
not who I was at all.
Mm.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah, those outside help, yeah, do and pursue your loves. And if it
Yes.
takes you till 40 to do so, fine.
Yeah.
Now, people are going
Absolutely.
to, yeah, and then people will ask me, well, you know what, women are on a timetable to have children. Some are not.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
those that are, tech, technology is very interesting
Oh
this time
yeah.
of the in
Science
this
too.
time. You
Yes.
can exactly you can freeze your eggs. I mean, there's so many
Yeah.
different things. So
Yes.
I don't want women to get into a trap of, well, if I don't, and I'll be honest, I felt that way. If I don't have these children by a certain amount of time, my time's going to run out, and that's that. And then I'll be unhappy for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just have a different life. That's all.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
I think another thing I would say is normalize the many different ways that women can live,
Hmm.
with children, without
Mm-hmm.
children, adopting
Yes.
children,
Yes.
single with children,
Yes.
having children later in life,
Yes.
anything.
Yeah.
Normalize it.
It's whatever you want to make it.
That's right.
Yeah. Whatever you want to make it. It's your journey and make it your journey. And like you just said, not what somebody else thinks that you should do.
Hmm.
Do what you have found makes you happy and keeps that smile on your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I am so happy to have spoken to you both. I'm just going to go around and have everybody give one
Mm.
pearl to the women that are listening. Coach Donna, I'm going to start with you.
Find your happy. Find your happy. Look inside and find out what makes you happy, and then go there. Go for it.
Yes.
There may be sacrifices you have to make. Some of those sacrifices may be family members, friends, but go to your happy. That I mean, I don't know what else to say. Stop living your life based on some outline that somebody else gave you, and it doesn't fit your narrative. You
Yes.
write your story,
Yes.
and you find your happy, and then share it with the world. I want to see you.
Yes, we do. I love
Yes.
that. Angie B.
Okay. The only thing I can think of is find what makes you you. Because, like I said, being a baby boomer, I knew what made everybody else happy, but I didn't really know what inside of me made me happy. So, learn how to just be, learn how to be happy. Again, learn how to be kind to yourself. And I have started to dream again. I'm going to make this really quick, short statement. Back when my husband was living, we said when the kids, got older, got out of the house, we were going to start traveling the United States in an RV. Well, when he passed away, I thought, I can't do it now, because I'm by myself. Well, I'm getting ready to embark on an adventure of RV life. And it's coming up really, really soon. I am so super, super excited about it. I've traveled a lot abroad. I've gone to a lot of places abroad. And the beginning of August, I rented a van to see, is this something that I can really do? Because I wasn't sure. And I felt so much freedom just being, relaxing. We had a lake in the middle of our campground, just my dog and I. And we walked that every morning, every night. And it was just so calming. We both thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. So that's going to be Angie B's new adventure. And so just find that adventure or that thing that really makes you happy and makes you smile. And that's what, I call it living life.
There you go. Living life and not letting it live you.
That's right. That's
I
right.
am going to have you both back because I have more things I know that I want Coach Donna to talk about. And Angie B, you told me about your travels.
Yes.
And I am now thinking about renting an RV the next time I come to Arizona because I love that state.
Yes.
And
Yes.
maybe bopping around in an RV. And anybody that knows me, they're probably clutching their pearls saying, what, you who like who likes, all these amenities when you go, yes, but just listening to you and that adventurous spirit.
Yes.
For me,
Yes.
the one thing I though would tell a younger woman is that whole business about waiting till you're 65 to retire to live your life. That is a capitalistic trap that's building on what
Yes.
Coach Donna said. That
Yes.
is worker mentality.
Yes.
Because I have witnessed too many women that were in my mother's generation, friends and their parents. The
Yes.
mother was, I remember one, she was a teacher for like 40 some odd years.
Yes.
She had this beautiful, beautiful trip planned. Don't you know she died 5 weeks after she
See.
retired? She
See.
never got a chance to have that trip or that experience.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
whole business of waiting until you're 65, then what really the so-called machine is banking on is that you dying or being in such bad health that
Yes.
you're not going to be able to do that.
To do
And
anything.
then
Yes.
right, and then what is your money going to?
Right.
Nursing homes.
No.
Oh, gee, if you have
Right.
to go to a nursing home, you have to be just about dead broke, so they have to sell off stuff. No, that is what that makes you a worker in
Yes.
some
Yes.
way or another, building on what Coach Donna said, be an entrepreneur to some degree.
Yes.
Always have your side hustle.
Yes.
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 And for those of us that are working on it, we are now working to get our side hustle to be one of the many, many rivers of
Yes.
income in our lives. And if we can do it
Absolutely.
at this stage,
Yes.
if I had an
Yes.
extra,
At
say,
any
40 more
age.
years,
At any
shoot,
age.
you'll be
Yes.
good. And if I do have another 40 more years, look out, world, because I got
That's
Right.
stuff to do.
Right. Oh
We
my
that's
all
right.
God.
do.
I'm telling
That's
you, a
right.
baby boomer as an
That's right.
entrepreneur is
That's
is
right.
a is a force to be reckoned with.
That's
You know,
right.
we got skills, we've got experience.
Yes.
I mean, we are a force to be reckoned with. And
That's
when we
right.
can pour into the younger generation so that they don't have to go to the school of hard knocks. I mean,
Mm-mm.
Correct.
it's
Correct.
just going to be a better place. I keep
Yes.
young people around me because I want
Yes.
to
Me
know,
too.
what's going on. What do I need
Yes.
to be aware of? And
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
give them wisdom on how to navigate through some of that stuff if they'll allow
Yes.
me to speak into their life. And
Yes.
many do.
Yes.
Many will call and ask. So I
Yes.
said, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
And I know we were
Absolutely.
going to stop, but I think one of the reasons why younger people would come to us and the women that I'm going to have on here is that no one's judging you.
No,
No one is judging you
No,
because,
no.
see, there was no internet. So there's no proof of the ridiculous things that I have done in my 20s. Okay. There's no proof. Polaroid pictures have now faded away. So the
Yeah.
pictures where I might have been dancing on a table with or without clothes,
Oh,
that's,
girl, we must have been at the
they're
same party.
gone. No one knows. Oh, yeah. I am going to have you both back. So I
Okay.
want to thank you both so much. And I want to thank the audience. Now, if you are a woman over 60, you can contact me. I have my Calendly link in the comments section if you'd want to join in this conversation. Going forward, though, I'm also looking for women under the age of 60, younger women, because I'm hearing back from younger women that they want to converse with the women that I'm having on this channel. Again, use that same link. We can talk. I know Angie B is still laughing at that idea of me dancing with or without clothes on the tabletop. Let's not even go there. Calendly link, and we can talk about having you as a future guest. I want to thank my guest. I want to thank anyone who is listening to this. Any information to contact either the guest or myself will be in my comments section. Have a great rest of the day, and I will see you next month.
Thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me. And it was an
Bye
awesome
bye. This was
conversation.
wonderful.
Yes, yes, I really
I
enjoyed it.
enjoyed it.
Thank you.